Hey social media queens, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tana, like Montana, and my channel is all about social media tips and tricks of what it's like being an influencer and a professional marketer. So go ahead and grab yourself something to drink. I am sipping on an iced coffee and let's get into it. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 things that you should be focusing on as a content creator. So literally, I'm spilling the tea on what I think you should be focusing on as far as social media goes. 2021 is truly about social media growth. We are finding these new platforms, we're finding out how to best utilize them, and I really just want to pick apart the things that you should really hone in on to grow on social media. Whatever platform that may be, these are going to be the things that are going to help you. So these 5 things are what I think is most important, but you really have to put in the work if you want to reap the reward. And I think that's so important to remember with social media as a whole, is that you can watch tip videos all day, take courses, but if you don't put in that work, then you are not going to see proof in the pudding. Whether you're a brand, influencer, or social media manager, these are going to help you tremendously on social. So the first thing I want to touch on is to have your own website. It is so important to have your own website as a brand and as a social media influencer. Brands, I cannot tell you how many I've been contacted by and they don't even have a website, or if they do have a website, it looks like shit. And that is huge. If you are a brand watching this video, make sure that all of your social media accounts and your website look amazing, because influencers are judging brands harder and harder on how they're presenting themselves online. Because if I work with a brand and their social media is not good looking, their website looks like crap, I'm representing them. I'm telling my audience about this brand. I don't want my audience to hear that I am putting my word behind this brand and then they go to their website and it looks like shit, because then they're not gonna trust me. And the most important thing online is to build trust with your audience, whether you're an influencer or a brand. But if you don't have a website yet, that's fine, you can get started. And I highly encourage you to get started yesterday. So I started on Blogger, which was Google's free blogging website platform, and it was really easy, but I outgrew it pretty fast. And then I switched to Squarespace, and that is where I am now. A lot of people recommend WordPress.org. Don't get confused. WordPress.com is different than WordPress.org. WordPress.org, you can self-host, you have a lot more options and customization in that website. It was just kind of overwhelming for me, and I didn't feel like hiring someone, to be honest, and I'll probably end up there eventually, but right now Squarespace is doing it for me. Another reason why I highly recommend having a website is that you don't own TikTok, you don't own Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. If these platforms were to disappear tomorrow, how are your people going to find you? How are they going to find your information? This is why it is so important to have a place that you own, that is yours. Your website is your place. Dang, that's good stuff. Something else that's also important about having your own website is building your email list. Get emails from people, and you're able to send out newsletters, contact people, let them know when you upload a new YouTube video, when you upload a new post on Instagram, when you upload a new post on your website. This is so important to start building your email list now, and that integrates in flawlessly with a website. So when you go to a website and a pop-up comes up and says save 15% at this store or sign up for your newsletter, that's what you're going to want on your website, because you want people to know exactly how to do it and you want it to be easy. They just put in their email and then you've got that information on them. Something else regarding websites that comes up a lot when I'm telling people that they need to get a blog or create a website is I am intimidated. I don't know how to do it. And I think that these website platforms like Squarespace or Blogger or WordPress have so many resources for you in their help pages. I am completely self-taught. I just watched YouTube videos, watched the videos that these website platforms provided, and they really try to help you as best they can. I've even gotten on chats with them before I'm like, hey, this isn't working on my website, can you help me? And they were able to just walk me through everything. So definitely go make that website right now. If you're an influencer, having your own website actually allows you to charge more in your deliverables to brands because they want to have a place that lives longer. So the longevity of blog posts is a lot longer than the lifespan of a TikTok video or an Instagram post. And so a lot more time is put into creating a blog post, but that's why you can charge a lot more. I make a lot of my high brand deals from blog posts. So that is something to keep in mind as well. And the second point that I want to cover is creating video content. This is so freaking important. This was important last year and it's just as important, if not more important, this year to start producing video content. I know that sounds really scary, but I promise you, like, it is not that hard to jump into it. Of course, it's hard if you're creating like high quality video content with like a high quality camera. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying jump into that immediately. Yeah, you can work up to that. I really want to work up to that, but that's gonna take a while. What I mean is just grabbing your iPhone, start producing video content. Brands are starting to ask for this more and more, and I understand why. Like, TikTok is huge. Reels is getting there. Videos on Pinterest are performing so well. It is insane. When I post a video on Pinterest, I swear, like, my impressions immediately are like 10,000 impressions. It is wild. And I don't say this to be like bragging. I say this because it's so easy. It's so easy to create a video on your iPhone and post it online and be able to reach people in a different way. Whether you're filming a YouTube video on your phone or a DSLR camera, I think the most important thing about creating video content is just doing it and putting it out there first. Yes, of course, like in a couple years, you're gonna look back and be like, ooh, cringe. But you're gonna be happy that you started. That's the most important thing, is just getting started. Even if it's just a story on Instagram, that's a good place to just like get your foot in the door. You're doing a story, it's gone in 24 hours, or you can save it to your highlight, then maybe do a Reels, then maybe do a TikTok, then maybe do an IGTV, then maybe make a YouTube video. Literally, the possibilities are endless. But this also gives you an opportunity to charge more as an influencer to brands when you're creating that video content, because it does take more time to shoot the content and then edit the content. And I actually edit all of my YouTube videos in iMovie on my Mac, and I know some people are gonna be watching this and be like, cringe. But it's easy for me, so that's what I do. For my Reels and my TikTok videos, I use InShot, which is an app that you can download on your iPhone and your Android, and it is super easy. I think I did pay for like the first subscription so I could just like skip through ads or have like a watermark at the bottom. And coming from creating video content, I'm going to jump into our third point, which is get your booty on TikTok. I know, especially if you're a millennial, you're like, no, I don't want to be on TikTok, because that's how I was, and now I'm obsessed with TikTok. I feel like the possibilities are endless for brands and for influencers. So if you are a brand and you are trying to sell different products, this is a great place to get your products in front of billions of eyes. Billions. It is wild. The algorithm is still a little finicky and I'm not completely sure how it works, but seeing a video go viral on TikTok and then seeing what happens after your video goes viral, just gaining a ton of followers and seeing how many people can like stitch your video, which is just like use your video and then add to it on their profile. It's insane. I had a video go viral and it had like 2.5 million views, thousands upon thousands. I think we're at like 50,000 shares, 300,000 likes, probably like 3,000 comments. It's wild when videos go viral, and then that is such an opportunity for you to start posting other content that you want those new followers to see. What is really important on TikTok, I'm finding, is to niche down, have a niche. And it's funny because my niche is social media tip, and I'll insert some funny little videos in there every now and then. But the video that went viral was actually a more funny video instead of a social media tips and tricks niched video. So I'm seeing that when I post social media tips and tricks videos after that one video had gone viral, not a lot of people are engaging with it because they were following me for that funny content instead of that social media content. But I am finding that the video that went viral was very, very shareable. So you want something that someone can send a friend and be like, oh my gosh, I relate to this, or me too. The video that I made that was funny that went viral was a voiceover. I was using someone else's voice, and I was talking about how my new love language is sending 30 TikToks to someone a day. So that was something that was super relatable, and that's why it went viral. And I feel like TikTok is still in its very early stages. You can learn new trends that can be applicable to your business. It's just a really fun space, and if you use it in a fun way and use your business mind, you can do a lot. That brings us to our fourth point on top 5 things you need to do to grow your social media in 2021. Build connections and friendships. This is so important online today. Everyone has their bullshit radar on, and they don't want to see people being fake. They want to see you being as real as possible, and honestly, I fucking love it. I think it is amazing, and more people need to be doing this online. So I did a video about loop giveaways and engagement pods. You can see that all here, and that is just a way that people are trying to grow their following as far as numbers, which is such a vanity metric. What you really need to focus on is building connections with your audience, talking to them, DMing them, having conversations in your comments, asking more questions. If they say something on your photo, ask them how their day is, ask them a follow-up question. Get to know your audience, because this is so much more important for brand deals in the future. Honestly, it's more important just to build those relationships. I love my community and I love having conversations with them. And yes, it does help me in negotiating brand deals, but that isn't the entire point of my social media. To that point, I do want to mention that if you are building those connections, that's what brands are looking for. When I was a brand manager working in influencer marketing, I would look for influencers that were having those conversations in their comments. I was looking for influencers who didn't have a billion people say, love that girl, so cute, on their photo. I would see the people actually engaging with their content. If they're posting a picture with a bag, someone in their audience was commenting and saying, oh my gosh, I love this bag, I really want a different color, or how many things can you fit in that bag? They're asking questions that are super important. I've also met some of my really good friends on Instagram, and I think that is super important to open up a little bit more, because the possibilities are endless to finding new friends or business partners or connections for the future. I met someone online and now we are starting a podcast together, which is amazing. I met someone else online and we have lunch or brunch every other week, and we're texting each other, and it's just way beyond surface level conversations. And I'm gonna be making a video talking about how do I word this? How to be on guard a little bit when you're looking at talking with people or meeting people from social media, because a lot of people will want to pick your brain and don't really want to get to know you. They want to get to know how to be like you on social media, if that makes sense. And I feel like I've been burned and I've been used in the past, but I continue to give people an opportunity to change my mind, and that's how I found my friend who I'm starting a podcast with. So that's more of relationships and connections with your audience or people who are doing similar things like you. Another point that I wanted to make was building relationships and connections with brand managers as an influencer. I think this is so important. When you are pitching a brand, you need to be in the mindset of, I want to do something for you. Like, I want to provide you with content. I want to be beneficial for you. You don't want to talk to a brand and make it all about you and your social media and that they should be lucky to be working with you. That's not it. If you're reaching out to a brand, it needs to be more of an introduction. Tell them what you can do, if there's any way you can help them in the future, and then try to have a relationship with them. One of my really good friends now that we have wine nights on Zoom is a brand manager for a company that I work with, and I absolutely adore her. We are such good friends now because we continue to have conversations. We ask each other questions about life. It's not always about a paycheck or getting a collaboration. And you know what? If the company decides that I don't fit their niche anymore and I end up not working with them, I'm still gonna be friends with her because we've built a friendship, and I think that is so important. And then if she ends up working for another company, she's gonna remember me because we're friends and we talk all the time. So I just want you to remember that when you're pitching people, there's actually a real person on the other side. And opposite to that, when I was that other person working in marketing, I loved it when influencers were just so kind and asked about my day and wanted to get to know me a little bit more. And guess what? They were the top influencers that I wanted to pitch to my marketing team when we had influencer opportunities. Finally, the fifth thing that you need to focus on in 2021 to grow your social, wait for it, ask questions. This is so important. Asking questions is going to save you. Don't feel dumb, don't feel stupid for asking questions. Ask brand managers questions. Ask them about deliverables. Ask them about due dates. Ask them if they have more money in their budget. Ask them if they have a budget to pay you. Ask your audience questions. Ask your audience what they want to see, what they're looking for as far as content. Are they looking for specific clothing for a certain season? Ask questions as much as possible. Ask marketing professionals questions. Ask everyone questions. I'm like, who can I think of that you're gonna ask more questions to? Literally just ask people, how did you get started? How did you get here? How can I help you? That is a big question to ask. Ask people who are doing what you wanna do in the future questions. I love it when people ask me questions like, Tana, how did you get started? Tana, how can I do what you're doing? And that's what I did in the beginning too. My business coach was exactly who I want to be in the future. So I was asking her questions, and then she came out with a program and I was like, sign me up. Like, I want to be a part of this. And I actually got into the program because I was so adamant on asking her questions about other things in the past that she remembered me and wanted to work with me in the future for her program. If you can find a way to implement and act on all of these things in 2021, you are sure to see success. Just remember that you have to work for it. You need to be working so hard on these different things, but you're definitely going to reap the reward if you do. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!